The lunchtime rush roared like a storm inside Le Marchand, a trendy fusion restaurant tucked into the heart of the city. Plates clattered, servers darted between tables like frantic birds, and the sound of shouting echoed from the kitchen, mostly from Chef Roland. He ruled his kitchen with sharp knives, sharper words, and an ego that could barely fit through the swinging doors. But on this particular day, someone new stood among the chaos. A quiet man in a plain gray apron, head lowered, wiping down a prep counter no one else wanted to touch. No one knew that this man, this nobody, was one of the wealthiest tech founders in the country. No one knew his net worth had a 17-digit problem. No one knew he owned skyscrapers, patents, and digital empires. And they certainly didn't know he had come here for revenge. His name was Alex Carter. And before we deep into the story, a quick and fast favor from you: please subscribe, like, comment where you are watching from, and share this video. Thank you. Alex Carter, a billionaire and tech founder, didn't grow up rich, influential, or connected. He grew up in a small neighborhood where his mother's kitchen smelled of love, spice, and simmering tomato broth. She taught him early that food wasn't just sustenance, it was a story, a memory, a way of life. Her signature recipe, Mama Carter's pepper stew, was the one thing Alex carried with him long after she passed. One rainy afternoon, before any wealth or fame entered his life, Alex walked into Le Marchand with a small container of his mother's stew. He had been invited by a friend who worked there. The head chef occasionally tasted local food to get inspiration. Alex wasn't trying to be a chef. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He simply wanted to share something meaningful. But Chef Roland barely tasted the stew before dramatically spitting it into the trash. "This," Roland scoffed, waving the spoon like a weapon. "This is poverty food. Too simple, too sentimental. You think this belongs in my kitchen?" The other cooks laughed. Servers snickered as they walked by. Someone muttered, "What did he expect bringing grandma soup to a real chef?" Alex smiled painfully, thanked them for their time, and walked out, holding in the hurt like a fist. But despite the humiliation, he didn't lash out. He didn't argue. He didn't fight. He built his empire instead. Years passed. Alex became a billionaire. Tech innovations, apps, investments. The whole arc of a self-made success story. Yet he never forgot that moment. Not because Roland insulted the food, but because he insulted the heart behind it. And when Alex learned the restaurant was collapsing financially, with investors ready to sell, an idea began to simmer. To pull this off, Alex didn't need a full disguise. No fake beard, no dramatic wigs, just subtle shifts. A more modest haircut, neutral clothing, and a pair of thick glasses he didn't actually need. No one in this part of the city followed tech news anyway. His demeanor changed too. He quieted his voice, softened his stride, carried himself like a man used to being overlooked. He applied for a job as a kitchen assistant, the lowest rank in the back of house. Roland barely looked up from his chopping board before signing the paper. "Fine. Prep station. Don't touch anything important." And with that, the billionaire became the lowest paid worker in the building. Every day brought new challenges: burnt pans, spilled stock, missing ingredients, and Roland's constant barrage of insults. "You walk too slow, Alex. You chop like a toddler. Don't season anything. Your taste is terrible." The cooks laughed behind Alex's back, unaware that he could buy all their houses with what he kept in a single checking account. Yet Alex stayed humble, observing everything: the chaos, the inefficiency, the disrespect, the potential. He cleaned stubborn grill stains until midnight. He carried crates heavier than some employees. He learned the rhythm of the kitchen, the strengths and weaknesses of the staff, and the toxic culture Roland fostered. There were moments of humor too, like when Roland screamed at Alex for oversalting a soup that Roland himself had seasoned, or when a snooty server scolded him for being too polite. But the funniest part? No one noticed Alex taking calls in the alley, disguised as a friend from corporate. They had no idea he was preparing a purchase contract that would change their lives. 3 weeks later, the staff gathered for what Roland called an important announcement from the new investor. Everyone expected a stern businessman, maybe a suit and tie type, maybe a middle-aged corporate shark. Instead, Alex stepped forward from the back of the room, still in his charcoal apron, still wearing his humble glasses. Roland rolled his eyes dramatically. "Why is the janitor standing here? Move aside." Alex smiled, calm, collected, and finally ready. "I'm not a janitor," he said. "My name is Alex Carter, and as of this morning, I am the new owner of Le Marchand." The room fell into a stunned, frozen silence. A server dropped a tray. A line cook whispered, "What?" Roland's jaw hung open, twitching as if his brain was buffering. "You?" Roland sputtered. "You are the investor? The billionaire? The—" "Yes," Alex said gently. "And I wanted to see this kitchen through the eyes of the people who work the hardest." The staff looked at each other in disbelief. One brave hostess raised a hand. "Wait, you're that Alex Carter? As in Carter Innovations?" Alex nodded. Roland's face drained of color as memories rushed into his mind. The stew he mocked, the laughter, the insults he hurled daily. How much did you see?" Roland asked weakly. "Enough," Alex replied. Alex stepped forward, addressing the team with a clarity and compassion none of them expected. "This restaurant has incredible potential, but excellence can't grow in a toxic environment. From today, respect becomes the foundation of this kitchen. Quality ingredients, creativity, teamwork, and valuing every single person, dishwasher to chef." The staff clapped softly, surprised but hopeful. Roland pointed at him desperately. "You can't run a kitchen without me. I'm the face of this restaurant." Alex stared at him calmly. "No, you're the reason it's failing." The room gasped. "You've belittled your staff. You've dismissed ideas that could have brought innovation. And you've forgotten that food is more than ego." Roland's voice cracked. "You're firing me?" Alex nodded. "Effective immediately." Shock rippled through the kitchen, but no one defended Roland. Not one. In fact, some looked relieved. Then Alex turned to the sous chef, Mia, kind, talented, and constantly overshadowed. "Mia," Alex said, "would you like to lead this kitchen?" Mia blinked in disbelief. "Me? Are you serious? You have skill, passion, and respect for your team." "Yes, I'm serious." Tears welled in her eyes as the staff erupted into applause. And for the first time, real hope filled the kitchen. Weeks passed, and Le Marchand transformed. Alex invested in better equipment, fair wages, and training programs. The staff worked with renewed pride. Mia introduced new dishes, including one that brought customers from across the city, Mama Carter's pepper stew, refined, enhanced, but still honoring the original flavor Alex's mother taught him. Customers lined up outside. Food bloggers swooned. Reviews poured in, praising the new leadership, the fresh menu, the warm atmosphere. The restaurant thrived, filled with the sound of laughter, sizzling pans, and a team working with purpose instead of fear. And Roland? He opened a small online cooking channel that barely reached 50 viewers. He often complained that no one recognized real genius anymore. Alex never responded. He didn't need to. Justice had already been served. And as he sat at a corner table one evening, enjoying a bowl of pepper stew made by the hands of a team who believed in each other, he whispered to himself, "Mom, we did it." The message was clear. Humility feeds growth. Respect builds success. And true worth never comes from the size of your ego, but the size of your heart. Like the story? Tap like, subscribe. And stay tuned, more jaw-dropping stories are coming.